Welcome back to the F125 My Team here on, well, F125 on the ChesnoidPlays channel. We, on stream, are actually doing a double header here, so we're going to be doing the Canadian Grand Prix, which you'll see in this video, and then I'm going to be recording the Austrian Grand Prix right after that. So do make sure you come across and join me on stream for days like today, further into the save. There'll be a link in the description to, of course, the Twitch channel and to the main YouTube channel where we do all of our streaming, all Chesnoid Gaming username based. So we made some changes to the team and to the car as per the end of the last episode. I'm gonna, for this episode, the next one, I'm gonna do all of the off-track stuff off camera, so to speak, off YouTube, and we'll see if you guys prefer that. We'll mention it more when we get there at the end, but one thing I did want to show you was the changes we've made to the car. So we've added a significant number more decals to it. So we now have Venus on the side pod and Octonic just above me here on the exhaust outtake. So Venus just behind the halo there, as you can see. Then on the side of the nose, you can see we've got now a Volo above the previous Octonic. It's just above me here. Might see it better here. There you go. You can see it better on that side because I'm not in the way. We now have Monomic on the nose cone. We're going to fill that nose cone all the way down the middle in rather typical Formula 1 fashion. I think it looks quite good, actually. That's probably the bit of the car that I like the look of the most, and we'll do the same with the front wing. We get the opportunity to have two extra here. We'll put sponsors on both sides of the wing, but obviously at the minute I can only have one, and I'd rather have the one in the middle than two on either side and have it be blank in the middle. I think it looks quite good as it is actually with the one in the middle and blank, but we will make sure that it looks better when we have the opportunity to dovetail side by side. Zebra's still on the front wing. That's not changed. I would like to use a slightly different version of that logo, but at the minute every other version I've got available to me has black in it that kind of doesn't work with the current livery. On the back, we now have, rather than Seren, the main sponsor that's on the side pod, it now says Venus on the back bit, and across the top on the DRS flap it says Slingshot. It does the same on the back as well, which I think looks quite good. And then we've now got Euterp on the side of the end plates rather than I think it was it Slingshot we had there? No, it was something fuel we had on there. Might even have been Slingshot fuel, to be completely honest. We've now got Monomic. No, we've now got the A&F there on the top of the halo as well. Still got Venus on the wing mirrors though. I'm pretty sure actually it was Slingshot fuel we had. I'm just gonna have to double check. Let's have a look. Edit. Yeah, it was Slingshot fuel. It's just a different variation of the decal. So Slingshot on the wing now. So I think the car looks significantly better than it did. Still missing a number of spots for sponsors, but obviously as we get our fan rating up further, we can improve the car yet further still. But running a significantly altered livery here for China. We're going to go with a balanced tyre setup here for China and hope that, rather significantly hope that, we don't have any rain. But it's Canada, so we're probably going to have rain. We have also started contract talks with Nico Hülkenberg in anticipation of potentially signing him in Season 2. Are we lucky? We are very lucky. A little bit of rain in the first two practice sessions on the Friday, but for the sessions that matter, fully dry. Thank Christ for that. Do drop the video a like if you're enjoying the save. Of course, I'd appreciate it very much. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more content here on the ChesnoidPlays channel. And we're going to head straight to the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. There's a distinct difference, as you might well imagine, between a higher downforce and a lower downforce setup here. And it seems, judging by quali runs at least, not necessarily a second run of the race strategy program, that the tyre wear isn't actually as bad on the lower downforce setting as I feared that it might be. And our tyre wear in general does appear to be okay. So we might get away with a lower downforce setup that could actually get us a decent result here, we hope anyway. Do I put a third MGUH in now? We're still early doors in the season, but for a power track like this I think it's probably advisable. Similarly, energy store as well. Turbo wise, 21% should be absolutely fine. Control electronics just doesn't change anyway. Put a 7th exhaust in for actually race 10 as it is now, isn't it? Here in Canada. Qualifying is fully dry. The race is fully dry. We have had to significantly drop the wings because of anticipated straight line speed from our opposition. Sometimes I wonder whether it kind of takes you out the moment if I refer to them as AI, and whether I should just refer to them as you would do in real life as the other drivers or by name, etc. But I don't know. You'll have to let me know as a viewing audience. Does it take you out the moment when I say AI as opposed to keeping it more realistic, or are you not really that arsed? I don't think I'm really that arsed, but obviously if you prefer it that I would reference them as not AI more regularly, then I'm quite happy to do so. We shall go qualifying then. It's more overcast than it was in practice, so tyre wear should be slightly better because cooler temperatures, but we'll have to wait and see. Oh, apparently there might be a little bit of drizzle in Q3. Okay. Not that we're going to get there. Not got that much time in the back pocket here. We did a 112.2 in practice, and I think we're on for about a 112.2 here. Obviously using a lot of battery down the straight. A bit late on turning for the chicane, but shortest run to the line. And we do a 111.9. That should be us through. Not very comfortably, but through nonetheless. P12 in qualifying in Q1 through to Q2. Don't anticipate a Q3 performance here though, but through to Q2 is at least decent. The streak continues. Still a full 9/10 of Mr. Verstappen, sorry, at the front. And Piastri's out again. Oscar Piastri cannot qualify at the minute. Oscar Piastri out again here. 112.3. Running a hell of a lot of time here. We're on for a 1 minute 10.7-ish at the moment, which should be outrageously fast. A little bit slower through the chicane. We're on for a 1 minute 10 for sure. 1 minute 10.8. Where has that lap time come from? What? What? Welcome to Q3. We've topped the time. Where has that come from? By 15 milliseconds? We just put it P1 in Q2. What? I don't know what happened. But we just found it. Well, that's not happened before. I don't know whether everyone went out on used tyres to try and save some for the race, which is potentially what happened, because they might feel like running more softs in the race is faster than using the mediums. They might go medium soft soft rather than medium medium soft, and that might be a reason why they're trying to save an extra set of soft tyres. So they might have done that lap time on the first set of soft tyres, which might genuinely be a thing, because I set a lap on the set of tyres I did in Q1, and we did an 11.9 the exact same time again, which would have seen me out by 0.4 of a second. So, but when's this rain coming? That's going to make a difference. In 10 minutes, it's 25%. It's only a 12-minute session, so 15 minutes, 43%. Do I go out and set a lap time now? I might go out now just in case. Just in case it's raining at the end of the session. It might not be. So we're putting our lap in early. Shortest run to the line. We did a 1:10.8. Whoa. It's a 1:11.3 this time around. Only got one lap of so somehow I've lost half a second of time on that lap. I don't really know where, but 1:10.4 from Lando. So my 1:10.8 at the minute, if I'd have replicated it, would have had me P4. I'll go out again at the end of the session on that worn set of tyres. I know where I was slow, pretty well. I'm dead slow there, so that's 3/10 gone, 4/10 gone, 7/10 gone. Okay, there's no track improvement available. That answers that question. That's why no one's gone out again. It might It might look dry, but the cooler track conditions are definitely not leaning themselves towards good lap time conditions either. Yeah, okay. Well, we shall stay 8th then. Our best qualifying of our Chesnoid racing career thus far. Victor Martin is starting the Canadian Grand Prix from P8. But it is overcast for the beginning of the race. Like 17-18% chance of rain, so we shouldn't see any, but
away from pole position. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row.
And wouldn't surprise me if maybe there was a little smattering of raindrops every now and again. Carlos Sainz P4 in the Williams, by the way. Doesn't look like there's any no penalties in front of us. Martin's starting P8 alongside Tsunoda, Antonelli and Gasly behind me. Presumably our teammate is still last, unless there are any penalties taken further back. But it's not like Zane Maloney is going to be standing a chance of getting anywhere near the points anyway, is he, really? Like I say, we are tapping up Nico Hulkenberg at the minute. Yeah, no other points. And I would love another real life, more experienced Formula One driver to start alongside Nico Hulkenberg. But it's a case of finances and whether the team is in a position to actually entice him to join. It reckons I could go medium, soft here, which would be great. There's not much between a 2-stop and a 3-stop, apparently. What are the others doing? Lots of hard-tired starters in the front, although we and Verstappen are the only on the mediums in the top 8. And it's mainly mediums behind. A couple of hard runners, a couple of soft runners, both the Saubers on the softs. Well, we'll go medium, soft then. Can I maybe do... No... We'll see how long the mediums last, because I don't know whether an overcut or an undercut would actually work here. Depends on what the DRS situation is like at the minute, isn't it? But could we one-stop? I don't think we could do a one-stop. I'm just going to have a quick look here. Let me remove that stint and remove that stint. A one-stop apparently would be possible. But it is 10 seconds slower than the 2-stop. So go with the 2-stop. Recommends 2.5 laps worth of extra fuel. I will take a little bit out. Dwayne, Spain, we were quite thirsty. You can save fuel at the end of the straight though, so we could do that in people's DRS. I'll take a little out. We'll start with 2.2 laps worth of extra fuel. And then we'll go from there. But running a 2-stop with quite a bit of extra fuel on board, starting a career best P8.
Decent parking. Let's try and get a good launch as the lights go out.
Right, starting on the outside.
Okay, so that's the rest of the grid forming up
turn
now.
1.
Be patient and watch for those lights.
Which will give us the inside for 2 and then 3 as well. So if we can position the car well enough, might be in a good spot here, but it is an if. I was about to say, with some hard runners in front of us, we can make up some positions, and oh my goodness, are we ever making up some positions? Oh, nearly. Oh my God, Tsunoda. Now I've got Max on the inside of me as well, with 3 wide here. I've got a warning for a collision with Verstappen. I didn't realise I'd actually touched him. Verstappen with the inside line, he stays P6 for now. But we're up from 8th to 7th. We've taken someone, can't recall who it was. Whoever it was has dropped a significant number of positions, I think. I remember he was starting P7 alongside me. It was Tsunoda, wasn't it, on the hard tyre? He's dropped to at least 10th. Now we find out how good they are in a straight line. I cannot really afford to lose the toe here. They should concertina up through the hairpin, to be fair. So hopefully we're able to close back in on them. Yeah, there you go. Oh my goody aunt. They closed down. They slowed up a little bit quicker than I anticipated they would do. Oh, I nearly did it again. They concertinaed up in the hairpin. Got decent enough traction and the battery now. I'm hesitant on lap 1 to use too much battery because I'm going to need it next lap to try and stay in DRS, but actually didn't need that much to try and stay competitive with them in a straight line there. Obviously need to adjust for the heavy car. with the extra fuel in it. I'll go defensive into one to try and hold on to the position.
DRS now available.
And Antonelli was rather reluctant there to actually make a go of it. Carlos Sainz started 4th, he's down to 5th. I think it's, other than Max, I think it's only hard runners in front of us, isn't it? So we should have a little bit of a pace advantage on some in the early stages. So hopefully staying in DRS shouldn't be as troublesome, he says, as he's very nearly out of DRS of those in front at the moment. But we do have it through here. And we're going to need it. Needing the battery too. Detection point for DRS is on the run down to the hairpin here under the bridge. So we do have it. This time we'll be a little bit more anticipatory. Is that word? Of the early braking in front. We get away with it this time. Well, after a lap and a half now, 2 laps. 7th. And they're going to be going side by side through the chicane here, so they're going to be particularly slow. No, they're not. Sainz has got the job done on George Russell. Still got some decent battery reserves as well.
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 a lap.
Yep. I am very happy with how this is going so far. Max, oh my goodness, Max is having a look at George here, and they just got all out of shape through there, which is putting me under pressure from Kimi now. I'm going to have to use some battery to try and stay ahead of him. Max and George going side by side into the hairpin. It is a good track for overtaking and for decent entertainment race-wise. Verstappen and George battling out again. Verstappen took the place. George takes it back again with DRS, but Max will have the inside line through the chicane and gets the job done. If I'd have taken it a little bit quicker, I might have had a bit of a run at George Russell there myself, but Max has got the DRS and he'll keep it the position here. Sainz is starting to disappear a little bit on those hard tyres now. Thank you, Antonelli. To be fair, I think I turned across him there, but I didn't anticipate it just throw his nose up the inside, if I'm completely honest. It's not really an overtaking spot like that when you're that far back through turn 1. Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the race, just showing how fast that Red Bull is. I am still continually very happy with where we are positioned at the moment. I'm going to try and hang on to the back of George Russell as long as I possibly can to maintain some DRS and just get us as far down the timeline of the race as possible, as quickly as possible. If we are going to steady, a little bit of wheel spin there. If we are going to go quite long on the tyres, then I'm going to need that DRS as long as possible. I don't know whether we'll be able to do the elongated pit stops at the moment. Tyre wear is going about 2% a lap on the rear left, and that means we're going to be close to 50% by the time the pit stop comes on that rear left, if that is the case. Well, we won't use any battery because we're quite close to George Russell, and the DRS should just keep us with him. I'm not actually looking to overtake, really. I'm just wanting to get dragged along by the Mercedes at this moment in time. I have to use a little bit of battery here to try and stay in front of Antonelli. Lando currently disappearing with the 2 Ferraris out front. Verstappen is now taking Carlos Sainz into the chicane. And I'm sure it won't be long before Max Verstappen is closing in on the Scarlet Scuderia cars. Fastest sector 3 of the entire race from me there. Comfortably with George Russell still. I did not anticipate the race going this well in Canada, but evidently it can all fall apart very quickly if you're not careful. So I'm going to just concentrate a little bit more now, if you don't mind. I cannot afford to lose George Russell. If I do, we're going backwards. But whilst we're still in his DRS, we are still competitive for a very, very impressive finish here. Potentially the chance of a season's best, a lifetime best for the team in its current form. Well, I might be forced to take George here if he's too slow without DRS. I don't want to just sit behind him for the sake of sitting behind him. If we can get past, we will. Maybe we just end up swapping DRS with him. I don't know. Well, we're past George Russell. We're up to P6. Considerably behind Carlos Sainz, though, 2.3 seconds, so we're not going to be closing in on him anytime soon.
Gap to your teammate behind.
But now Russell and Antonelli are having a bit of a tussle behind, and that's just going to earn us time. Antonelli on the medium tyre along with myself, so he's going to be faster than his teammate in the same car on different compounder tyres in this first part of this stint. Obviously, as the stint progresses, the hard tyre will become the better tyre to be on, but at the minute Antonelli's quicker. And he's also fallen out of DRS of me behind, but given the nature of the speed of our opposition at the moment, with the high, heavy drag coefficient we have in the car, and the fact that I've just driven that corner terribly, it won't be long before he catches up with me.
The car ahead by 2.4 seconds.
Fuel is okay at the minute. Tyre wear is high, but okay at the minute. Maybe now we're in free air, or a little bit more free air. We might not suffer quite such bad tyre wear, but I am going to have to make sure I don't spin up the rears. Gained on Carlos a little bit that lap, surprisingly. I did use a lot of battery to do it. I wonder, we do know our tyre wear is decent, but he's on the hards, and they should quite soon actually be the better tyre to be on, so I don't think our advantage is going to last that much longer. And battery hasn't kind of regained itself as readily as I hoped it might do this lap, so we've only got about 50% as we come down this part of the track. So I'm going to need to ease off a little bit just to get my ERS back at some point. 19% rear left now. 19%, nearly 20% at the end of, probably 20% by the end of lap 10. We could make it to lap 25 with this set, but it's going to be very warm by the time we get there. So the more warm they get, the more wheel spin I'll have,
the car ahead's
and the faster they'll wear.
You know what to do.
Yeah, the hard tyre is starting to become the better tyre now. George Russell's fallen a little bit further back as well. Albon's now past him as well. So Russell now running P9. George not having a very good Grand Prix here on those hard tyres, but because of this strategy, the race will come to him, you imagine.
2.7 seconds.
I am going to be intrigued to know, actually, if the hard tyre runners in front are running a one-stop. I don't envisage so, but we will ask. I'm still getting used to having my button layout slightly different, so I'm pressing down there on the D-pad, but actually I need to use my right stick.
And the time last lap,
anticipating a two-stop, but it could be a
1.0. Okay, gap to the car in front, 2.7 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Their tyres are 11 laps old now. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining.
Two stops on some of the hard runners at least.
Dropping back by around 0.2 each lap.
Yeah, that's just because their tyres are now more competitive than mine. But we're holding the gap to Antonelli behind. He and Alex Albon are getting involved, and Antonelli's actually causing a little bit of a train here. I don't know whether maybe
so we're leading our
he's got a bit of damage from overtaking George, but the gap is growing to those behind. I will check, actually. Do you have any damage, sir? No visible damage on the Mercedes. He's just, well, Kimi's stats are quite low, aren't they? At this stage, before any sort of driver attribute updates, so it's probably just Kimi's virtual self not quite being as fast as perhaps it should be at this stage of his F1 25 career. So I'm sure if Alex Albon gets past, he'll close on me, because Alex Albon is very quick. Both the Williams seemingly doing well here, though, aren't they? It's a track that should suit Williams, and we'll see how good they are in real life this upcoming weekend at this circuit. But right now, Williams performing well, but Chesnoid Racing performing well too. My teammate also isn't last. He was well off it in qualifying, but he's taken one of the RBs, and he's running currently P21. Go on, Zane, lad. Verstappen now with the Ferrari, as you can see in the front four. How many laps before we see him in P1 then? Before the first round of pit stops, you imagine? Certainly. Nearly ended up in the Wall of Champions there. We're all right. Danger averted. Kimi Antonelli's on his way back now. It's turning into a bit of a lonely stint now, but it's such a fun track to drive. I actually don't mind. It's a difficult track to drive. The
battery charge is high.
Traction zones are really quite tough, so you have to be quite precise with your throttle inputs. But we're maintaining pace quite well. Antonelli has dropped Alex Albon from DRS range here as well, which is crucial for the Mercedes driver. And the Italian is now pulling away from the Williams, giving himself a bit of breathing room, the same that I have to him right now. We'll be boxing in 10 laps time on lap 25.
About 3/10 a lap. Well done.
So we're about 2/3-ish, 60% maybe through the stint right now. We'll be boxing to a set of mediums for our second stint, aiming to run softs at the end rather than running hards. It said on the race strategy that the soft tyre to the end was the faster strategy for us because of our decent tyre wear. We may still end up making the decision to run the hard tyre at the end, depending on race situation in the middle stint. But at this moment in time, I am quite happy to go with that medium soft, I think. And we very much so at the moment, unless we have a terrible turn of events, we are putting ourselves in a very good position for a strong points finish. Because we're going that much further with this stint as well than we anticipate the other medium runners are, we shouldn't actually fall into too much traffic when we box only about 3 laps later. I think the medium runners are going to box on 22. We're going to box 25,
and
hopefully there won't be that much of an undercut, so that when we come out of the box again, we'll be close to P6 still, and won't have that much overtaking to do to get ourselves back to where we were. And obviously we'll be overcutting again in the second stint, as we anticipate at least that the majority of the medium runners will also go to hard tyres at the end, not the softs like ourselves. And they'll medium hard, whereas we're going to medium soft, so we should have even more of the tyre advantage at the end of the race than we'll have from the first set of pit stops. I'm quite confident at the minute of a really strong P6 finish. I don't know where it's come from or how we found this pace in Canada. And we probably won't be able to replicate it in Austria. But at the minute, I don't care. We're going to get more points here than we thought we were going to get in Canada, Austria, Great Britain, Hungary, and Spa combined. We've only had points on one occasion this season in 9 Grand Prix, and that was in Monaco. To have points in 2 of the opening 10 races of the season is certainly two races more than I thought we'd get when we first started the save and we saw how slow we were in Australia. And actually we ended up going backwards for a few races, didn't we? Australia was our best finish of the season for a while, until Monaco. We have been piling the upgrades onto the car recently, so that's rather evidently making a difference. If we're able to maintain this sort of form,
still looking good,
then we will consider upping the difficulty for the second half of the season. Tsunoda on his way back through now on the hard tyres as they become the better compound. He's now back up to P8 as he had dropped to P10.
5.3 seconds.
And I'm starting to struggle into the braking zones with my tyres now. The gap to Antonelli is still over 2, so we're all right. But he's really going to be under pressure in a minute from that Red Bull. And he's bringing Alex Albon with him. And there's a little gap to the Aston Martin, and then George Russell, who's dropped even further back. Russell's having a terrible Grand Prix so far. Russell started in front of me, I think. Russell started 5th as we started 8th, and he's running P11 right now on those hard tyres. Has he got any damage, I wonder? Because surely he can't just be that slow in general. Oh, George Russell is, unless he's got some non-visible floor damage. George Russell's just that slow. Charles Leclerc in the box off his hard tyres on lap 20. That's an intriguing one. A 3-stop maybe for Charles Leclerc. I'll ask about the driver in front at the minute.
Leclerc is ahead of you.
Yeah.
They've just entered the pits.
They have.
Okay, they're on fresh hards. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining.
Okay, so if he's just put fresh hards on, he's going hard, then, and they reckon he's got 2 stops remaining, then yeah, Charles Leclerc, he's on a 3-stopper here. That's not a great strategy, I don't think. The 3-stopper for us on paper was 10 seconds slower than the 2-stopper with the soft tyre. Right, Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari on his hard tyres has arrived behind us already.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trading.
I said I thought it might be a lap and a half that he'd be with me. It's been less than a lap. May even get past me here. To be honest, I actually don't mind if he gets past me here, because I'll be in a position where I'll get DRS down the straight and the main straight as well. I was too busy staring at the back of his car there and clonked off the wall, but we've somehow managed to get away without damage. Don't quite know how we've managed that. That will be DRS for us down this straight. Tsunoda's closing too, at 1.6 behind. Antonelli now using the DRS off Tsunoda to help close the gap. So actually having the DRS off Leclerc here and having quite a bit of battery left over is going to make a big difference for us now. Bringing Antonelli with him is Tsunoda. Verstappen's in the box on lap 21. Thinking we might see quite a few medium pitters in the box now, and you can see that Antonelli has boxed, as has one of the Aston Martins.
Approaching the pit window, and you're going to be on mediums.
Yeah, we're not boxing for 3 more laps. We need to complete lap 23, 4 and 5 before we are entering the pits to get fresh tyres. Continually, still happy with the stint. Currently running P5. We were P4.
Zane is in the pits.
P4, I think, is the highest we've run so far in our Chesnoid racing career, so this is going particularly well for us. Max Verstappen's arrived behind me now, so we're going to use the same tactic that we did last time. Max can take me here, and we'll take the DRS off him into the next part of the circuit. It will only be that part of the circuit that we're within a second of him for, but doesn't bother me. Extra DRS is extra free time gained on those that are behind us. Albon's still going on his original medium tyre, so he's running a little bit longer. I think Albon might be doing the same as me, medium, soft. But this is just free lap time. DRS there and the DRS here. So we'll take it. Hamilton in the pits now. In the other Ferrari, actually coming out of the pits now, I think.
Box, we're coming in this lap.
We're on 25 already. Seem to just completely forget about lap 24. We are pitting at the end of this lap. So boxing from P6,
gap on the car behind by around a second,
which we believe is where we stand a chance of finishing. Piastri up to P7 now, but that's because others have all boxed, and he started on the hard tyre. So Oscar Piastri recovering his race very well indeed. But we'll wait and see how well that recovery goes by the end of the full race distance. Here we come then. Carlos Sainz in front of us as well off his hards. We've done 25 laps. We're now going to do 26 laps on this next set that should wear about the same because of the lesser fuel load that's on board. Decent stop too.
Okay, go.
In and out.
Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. Okay,
and we've only lost the position.
Just one stop left in this strategy.
We've only lost the position to Antonelli. I should have the traction here to get around the outside of Lance Stroll's hanging on. Lance. He's not been able to do so. So Antonelli has undercut us. And he too has gone medium. But he'll be going medium hard, whereas we're going medium soft. So at the end of the race, we should just have the pace to overtake him again and get past. I do have DRS here somehow, even though I'm 1.2 seconds behind.
Make the most of this stint.
So I was thinking about it. Thought better of it. Can I? No, I'm not. Can't quite get back within DRS of Antonelli there. He's not going to have DRS on Bortoletto in front of him. And they're very slow through the hairpin here because they're fighting, so we are now definitely within DRS range of Antonelli, and our race is back on. We've boxed once already, and we've only fallen to P9. And Bortoletto and Gasly in front are still yet to box, I think. Gasly has boxed. All right, Gasly's having a good stint. Gasly must have boxed quite early. But Bortoletto... oh no, sorry. Gasly hasn't boxed. Bortoletto has. Bortoletto's boxed. It was as I thought it was. Gasly yet to pit. Gasly was about 13 seconds behind us when we boxed, so you really don't lose much in the pit lane here at all. Stroll having a bit of a run on me here with DRS, but
no tyre concerns at the
I'll
moment.
go defensive
Just
into
on
one.
the driving.
Give him a bit of racing room here, but we should have the traction on the medium tyre to get away, and we do. Try and get myself back within DRS range of Antonelli here, and he's going to get held up by Pierre Gasly now through this part of the track, so we will definitely be within DRS range of Antonelli. Pierre Gasly's taking those medium tyres a very long way. I wonder if he is actually one-stopping. Once Antonelli is passed, which is now, I will ask about Gasly.
Gasly's ahead.
Could have got very awkward. It did get very awkward. Stroll's looking around the outside here.
Okay, gap to the car in front, 1.2 seconds.
Oh, Pierre, you're so slow. Yeah, Pierre is one-stopping. We just absolutely mugged him into the hairpin. Just the extra grip was so powerful there. Now the extra overspeed on Antonelli. Watch out for the dirty air. I'm going to try and get Antonelli as quickly as I can. Might be down the back straight next lap, so that maybe we can close on Bortoletto as well. I don't want to just take Antonelli and then have him come back at me immediately. Might bide my time here, not take him in the next DRS zone and take him down the straight after the hairpin. So I get a double dose of DRS, and that should hopefully help me catch Bortoletto and then maybe get DRS on Bortoletto at this stage next lap. Because Bortoletto's tyres are going to be quite worn now, and I think Antonelli isn't quite going to be within DRS range of the Sauber as we make it through this part of the track, which he's not. Right, going to want a good exit out the hairpin, and then we'll go for Antonelli here. We've gotten one. Antonelli is going to get overtaken here. Cool. He's moved left and he's drifting back again, dickhead. See him move left off the racing line to defend, but then just gently drifting left again. So as I commit to the outside, he's actually squeezing the gap there. That's just really naughty from Antonelli. Take Bortoletto here. It's just kind of parked it on the racing, on the racing line, and then gone defensive as a reactive measure to me going to the outside. That was not particularly great from Bortoletto there either.
Okay,
he moved after I'd moved as a reaction to what I was doing, rather than actually going defensive. See him dart quickly left again as he realised that he'd left it too late. Charles Leclerc, of course, Charles Leclerc is 3-stopping. That's why we were questioning the decision to go hard from the Ferrari, wasn't it? Not because they'd gone hard per se, but because they were 3-stopping. So I'll ask about Sainz. We'll see if he too is also 3-stopping. But Sainz went significantly further, I think, than Leclerc when he boxed. Let's have a look. Charles Leclerc initially came into the pits on lap 20 to do the hard stop. And Sainz didn't box until lap 25 to go hard. So I still think Sainz is on a 2, but Leclerc is on a 3. My teammate has just retired. He's pulled over, I think. On the way.
Okay, so the car ahead's come in and fitted the soft
on the way
tyre
into the hairpin. There's no safety car, or even there's not even a yellow flag there where Zane is at the moment.
Yellow flag.
All right, there is a yellow flag. It's not showing on the map. There he is.
Ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
He's not far off the circuit. That should probably be VSC, I think, but Nothing given by the FIA,
green flag,
by the stewards, so we will continue on. Well, my teammate's out, unfortunately. One of the few retirements we've had in the save so far. Zane normally finishes every race, and we normally finish every race. I think only on one occasion have we DNF'd so far this season. So still safe in P6. Stroll is closing on those hard tyres. And Antonelli still falling further back. Oh, Stroll must have boxed. He's just disappeared. Stroll must have gone in for a set of medium tyres to the end, which would make sense. He's gone hards again. Medium, hard, hard. Medium, hard, hard. Surely you could have gone medium, hard, medium. It must have gone harder tyre allocation. I don't know why, because our expected tyre wear was only about 4% better than anticipated. It's not like we had massively high tyre wear here in the race strategy programme. So other teams surely could have run a similar sort of strategy to us. Our tyre wear here apparently is just significantly better. Either that, or we're just making a mistake going to the soft tyre at the end, and they're going to die quicker than we anticipate they will do. I'm sure we should be able to do 19 laps on a soft tyre under less fuel load. Here comes Sainz. It's going to take me, which I don't mind. Put your foot down, Carlos. I might. He says. I was going to say I might try and stay in Sainz's DRS and to use it to extend the stint. But evidently, I'm going to have to be careful with how I'm putting my power down. Although he was 1.6 seconds behind me at this stage last lap. I know he's significantly ahead, so it's probably only going to be this lap I get to use DRS on the back of Carlos Sainz. So it's maybe not going to help me extend the stint, but it is at least going to get me a little bit further down the road. So it reckons I'll come out in that gaggle, but there's a McLaren in that gaggle at the minute, and I don't know whether that McLaren is Piastri trying to make positions, or whether that McLaren is Norris trying to lap them. And I think it's Norris lapping them. Or is it Russell, Albon, Antonelli, Alonso, Piastri? Let's have a look at the minimap here. Alonso, Piastri. No, that McLaren is Piastri, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping it was going to be Lando and that group would all lose time having to let Lando through, getting lapped, but they haven't. I'm going to use quite a bit of battery on this lap. I'm going to drain it to try and get as far down the road as possible, and then we'll come out on the soft tyres and hopefully be able to get ourselves back into P6 when we inevitably, seemingly, lose a couple of positions from the position we're in at the minute. I think P4 is probably all Charles Leclerc is going to be able to get anyway today, since he dropped by Max Verstappen. So I don't think it would have mattered whether Leclerc was running a 2-stop or a 3-stop. I think a P4 was in his future regardless. 2 good pit stops for us today. There goes Stroll, there goes Tsunoda. And
okay, stay clear of the white line
comfortably
on the exit,
in front of... Oh, it is Ocon full position. That Haas has done particularly well to get himself there. I thought that would have been a Haas for getting lapped. Where did Ocon start? 16th, and he's currently running 9th. Esteban Ocon at the minute, he's having a wonderful Grand Prix. Oh, Jack Doohan is out of the race apparently. Where's that happened? Just on the way out of the hairpin. So, if we get a safety car now, I'd be bloody laughing, because we just put a brand new set of softs on, but it doesn't look like we're even going to get a VSC. I did forget to put the safety car up to increased for this one, and drop the red flag down to standard, so we will do that for Austria. Whether we would have gotten a VSC or a safety car for either of the retirements today, I don't know. I wouldn't have thought so. Not in-game, anyway. Perhaps in real life. But Doohan is going to be just on the right-hand side here out the hairpin. There you go.
Caution!
Just a yellow flag and a yellow flag only. Tsunoda on medium tyres has taken Lance Stroll here now. And I think Tsunoda on mediums is going to be uncatchable for me. That Red Bull is a quick car. And regardless of the fact that I'm on softs, I think Tsunoda is just going to disappear, and I don't even think I'll be able to get within DRS range of him, let alone make an overtake.
Tyre condition still looking good.
Stroll is still just in DRS range of the Red Bull, so that's helping him maintain the gap to me at the moment. I haven't used any battery for a while. I used a lot of it on the way to get into the pits, so trying to avoid using it now to build it back up so that when I have the opportunity to use it to overtake and or defend post overtake, it's there available for me. Will be 16 laps to go when we cross the line. Tyres are going to be 4% rear left after 2 laps of driving. The soft tyres are going to be worn at the end. If I can get within DRS range here of Stroll, which I think we might have done, we could slingshot off the back of him and try and close in on Tsunoda. Well, I don't know as I'll actually be close enough here to make the overtake into the chicane. Might be close enough to make the overtake into turn 1, but then I don't know as I'll be able to stick with Tsunoda to get DRS in him next lap. I'm not even close enough to Stroll, evidently, so we'll maybe take Stroll at this point next lap and then slingshot, or attempt to slingshot onto the back of Tsunoda. Fuel usage has been very good here. I'm particularly used to, in a My Team save, fuel usage being very, very, very bad in a My Team car, but actually this Mercedes engine's been very good on fuel throughout the course of this entire career, which is refreshing, because it is a factory engine from someone else, not anything to do with our car, so it should perform the same as everyone else's Mercedes engine. A great exit compared to the Aston Martin. DRS, ERS, overtake. He's gone defensive, has he? He has. DRS, ERS, overtake. And then DRS, pull away. Well, the gap was 2.4. It's going to be about 1.5-ish by the time we get to turn 1.
That gap ahead, please. 0.5 seconds.
Can we close into within DRS range before Yuki gets the tyre advantage on us? 1.3 after turn 2. 1.2, soft tyre is better for us at the moment, but not quite fast enough to get within his DRS for this part of the track. It's not far though, it's not far. I'm going to use a bit of battery here. Oh, look at him, the way he powers off that corner. We're within his DRS. We've used our battery very well indeed. We are challenging for that P6 potential finish here, or at least I might hopefully be able to clean to Tsunoda's DRS to give me the hope of a P6 finish until my tyres fall off enough that he then opens the gap again. I'll run out of battery now, so we're going to have to make minimal mistakes if we're to stay with the Red Bull, and obviously we know that it's a much faster car than ours at this stage of the wow.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race
This stage
so
of
far.
our team's development. The fastest lap of the race. Who saw that coming? Well, maybe a couple of you actually, because of our medium soft strategy. So maybe it's not quite so alien for us to do it. I don't think I'll be able to hold Tsunoda off if I'm able to get past him. I might be able to get past him, but my tyres are already starting to complain at the rear and I can't use my battery to stick with him. I've gone a bit deep there as well, trying to make up the ground to ensure I still get DRS here, which we will do. I think we're going to be finishing P7 behind Tsunoda, but it's still going to be a season's best. We're able to stick with Tsunoda at the moment, but at no point have I been in a position where I could even contemplate thinking about maybe making an overtake. It's just helping us build the gap behind. Tsunoda's just dragging me along here. He's not really under any threat from us of losing that P6 at the end of the race, I don't think. Tyres are now both on the rear in the 20s. You see, he put his mediums on.
Dropping back by about 0.3 a lap. Well done.
Thank you. He put his mediums on earlier than we put our softs on, but there will be a tyre crossover at some point before the end of the race where his tyres will become the better ones to be on. Although he's struggling in some braking zones, but it's not that I'm not, and we've managed to build our battery so much so that when we do start to feel that loss of traction at the rear, we can make up for it with a bit of ERS to bridge the gap. So I would imagine between now and the end of the race, it's just going to be us following Tsunoda home. Tyres are gone now. We're on 66 of 70, and Tsunoda, I believe, has gotten himself out of DRS range now. He's gone. That will be Yuki finishing ahead of us. We've given it our best shot. But as you can see, 33% on the rear left, 28% on the rear right. It's just a little bit too much at this stage of the race to be able to maintain DRS range and contemplate having a go. I think Yuki was saving a bit of battery as well, because we did gain on him a little bit and sit much closer behind him
to the car behind
for a couple of laps, but now he's just found an extra little bit of pace. I think it's a combined mixture of our tyres going past the cliff and Yuki now using some of that extra battery. We have actually been able to get ourselves really steady, had been able to get ourselves back within DRS range. That has now gone again.
If you think
yeah,
you can get past,
that's us definitely now finishing P7, which is still a season's best. And if you consider it a season's best, Monaco aside, a season's best by quite a way. P14 was our previous season best, Monaco aside, and to now finish P7, pretty remarkable really. Comfortably our best qualifying performance of the season so far, and comfortably our best race finish of the season so far. Lovely stuff. I'll see you at the end of the race, I guess. Lewis Hamilton wins the Grand Prix. Now, we didn't see that happening out front. Last we saw it, or last I remember taking note of it, Lando Norris was P1, and the two Ferrari were running 2 and 4 as Verstappen was up into the podium places. But somewhere, somehow, Lewis Hamilton has won this Grand Prix, and Lando has managed to finish second, I think, just ahead.
Here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by.
Of Max Verstappen, according to judging by the mini-map. It's a fantastic finish here for Carlos Sainz, who's about to cross the line in P5 for Williams, which is a superlative effort from him. And quite frankly, the same for us. The gap has rather significantly closed to Stroll behind since we lost the DRS to Tsunoda, which is why the DRS was so important to Tsunoda for as long as we had it, because that was 5+ seconds, and in the last 5 laps it halved. So P7, that's a bit good. We'll take that very much indeed. Gabriel Bortoletto gets driver of the day. Congratulations to him. We go from P8 to P7 in the race, and comfortably the best race weekend we've had all season long so far. GG's to Lewis Hamilton. I think when Max Verstappen DNF'd in wherever it was, he DNF'd Japan potentially. Hamilton was the one to bring home the win there as well. There's only 6 seconds back to Lewis, and look at that, a 1/10.5 exactly between Lando Norris and Max Verstappen over the line. We had the fastest lap of the race. Outrageous competitiveness from us here in Canada, and we'll try and replicate it in Austria if we can. We weren't that far away from lapping someone in this one. Hadjar down in 20th. Ocon eventually finished 14th after running P9 for a little while, unfortunately for him. But that is stunning from us. Very, very happy with that indeed. I lose all of my damage repairs, but that's fine. It's not a problem. Even our teammate used some there. Decent fan rating boost, though, because of our good position. Very pleased with how things are developing so far. So, as we mentioned at the beginning of the episode, I'm not going to show you in the YouTube video this time around all of the things we do in the menus here, because it is adding like an extra 10+ minutes to the end of every video.
It looks like a part we were developing has failed.
So if you find that this is more preferable, then please let me know in the comment section, and we will do this more often with the editing of the highlights. If you would rather all of this stuff is kept in at the end of an episode, then do let me know that in the comment section down below. But we will call today's episode here then for now. So thank you very much indeed for watching. I think you'll find that finish deserves a like, if you don't mind. Of course, subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on any more that is coming to you over the next few days, weeks and months here on Formula One with this My Team Save. I'm really enjoying F1 25 this year, and I know you guys are as well. I shall see you tomorrow for Austria.